Turn the ignition all the way on. Lovely stuff. Now if you're ready, pop it in first gear. So we'll just wait here for that Aston to go by. As soon as it's gone by, we can head straight out on circuit. Sweet, let's head straight out. So we're heading straight out towards that orange cone to your right, working our way up into third gear. So yeah, into third now. And we're letting the car run out wide, okay? So try and get it in between that white line. Let's get the middle of the car in between that white line. Coming straight back to the left hand side. What we're going to be doing, we'll be on the brakes once we first get to the red line. So on the brakes from now, all the way to the orange cone. Coming off the brakes, turning in, both wheels on the apex to your right. Nice steady steering input and throttle input. We'll let the car run out wide towards the exit curb. Good, so hold the racing line here, alright? We're missing this first apex that's coming up. We're now turning into that apex cone on your right, so we've nicely cut that one. We're lightly kissing this first left coming up. We're coming back into the middle of the circuit to then really cut this second left. So really cut that one next time. Middle of the circuit on the brakes, okay? We're coming off the brakes, turning in, get nice and close to that cone. Use the whole width of the circuit. We'll be heading into the slow lane just to the left of the tyres. We'll let this Lamborghini go by. So yeah, pop it down into second. And if you pop it in first, we'll just come to a nice gentle stop. Let the Viper go by. We can head straight back out into circuit, working our way up into third gear. So back into third now. Lovely stuff. We would be on the brakes from now all the way down, but not carrying enough speed to get back onto the brakes. So once we're around this corner, we're going to be aiming for that first orange cone coming up on our right. We're heading straight out towards that second orange cone there. We're turning in nice and smoothly, leaving it in third gear, now letting the car run out wide. So let it run out wide, let it run out wide. Get in between that white line, start coming back to that left hand side of the circuit, and we would be braking from now all the way down to the orange cone. We're coming back off the brakes, turning in both wheels on the apex to your right for me. We'll be coming into the slow lane just to the left of that white line coming up. So if you put yourself into that lane there, if we start picking up some speed now, we'll be alright to head back onto circuit. Yeah, heading straight back out onto circuit. What we're going to be doing is cutting this apex just to your left. Coming back into the middle of the circuit. Now on the brakes for me, nice and gently. Coming off the brakes, turn in, get nice and close to that cone. Now start thinking about using the whole width of the circuit. Eye up the apex, cut it, full throttle for me. Here on in. Into fourth we go. Back on the brakes now, all the way down. So heading back down into third gear. Aiming for that first orange cone on your right. We're heading straight out towards that second orange cone coming up, and a second orange cone turn in. So hold the steering input here. Now start letting the car run out wide for me. So let it run out wide, start feeding the power in, feed it in, leave it in third. On the brakes now, and what we're doing is coming off the brakes, turning in both wheels on the apex to your right. Good, nice steady steering input and throttle input. We'll come across to the exit curve. We're missing this first apex. Now we're turning into the apex cone here. Lightly kissing the first left coming up. We're coming then back back into the middle of the circuit, right, to then really cut the second left. So really cut that for me. That was perfect. Middle of the circuit, on the brakes now. So turning in, get nice and close to that apex cone, use the whole width of the circuit, eye up the apex in your right, cut it, full throttle for me. Now fourth. Now on the brakes, nice and hard, back down into third. Aiming for that first orange cone on your right, heading straight out towards that second orange cone there. What we're going to be doing is turning in nice and smoothly, slowly feeding that power in. So feed it in, feed it in, feed it in, feed it in, let the car run out wide, full throttle now. So keep going, keep going, keep going, nice and hard on the brakes, okay? Off the brakes, turning in, both wheels on the apex, nice steady throttle, alright? Don't lose any speed or gain any speed. Come across to the exit curve, good racing line, missing this first apex, now turning in, bit tight round that last corner, lightly kiss this first left, middle of the circuit, really cut the second left coming up, middle of the circuit, now on the brakes for me. So we're coming off the brakes, turning in, feeding that power, and now using the whole width of the circuit, eye up the apex in your right, cut it, full throttle. Into third, fourth even. Now on the brakes, nice and hard, back down into third. Aiming for that first orange cone on your right. Heading straight out towards that second orange cone there. Turning in nice and smooth, so hold the steering input here, start feeding the power in, let the car run out wide, full throttle now. Nice and hard on the brakes, off the brakes turning in. So, nice steady steering input, we'll let the car come across the exit curb. We're missing this first apex here, now turning into your apex cone. Lightly kiss the first left, coming back into the middle of the circuit, really cut the second left coming up. Middle of the circuit, yeah, again, now on the brakes for me, okay? We're coming back off the brakes, turning in, feeding the power in, using the whole width of the circuit, eyeing up the apex, cutting it, full throttle for me. Into fourth. Nice and hard on the brakes, back down into third for me. Lovely stuff, we're heading back into the pits now. How was that?
Brilliant.
Yeah.